Please tell me if this sounds familiar. A gorgeous pregnant blonde with a sword is out for revenge, hunting down the people responsible for the death of her family, eventually featuring a final catfight between the sword-wielding blonde and a tiny brunette Asian woman. Nope, I'm not talking about Tarantino's Kill Bill. I'm talking about Final Vendetta, also known as Sweet Evil, although in Spanish we know this film as Más allá del odio, which translates to Beyond Hate. The film stars Bridgette Wilson, who is best known as Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat, or the spicy teacher in Adam Sandler's Billy Madison. But in this film, she is a pregnant blonde with a sword out for blood. The film also stars Seiko Matsuda, who is best known for being a Japanese pop star sensation in real life, but here she plays the sweet innocent wife. Another famous face in the film is Peter Boyle, best known as the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond, but here he is the Asian woman's agent. And strangely enough, the film also stars Peter Koch, who is a football player for the Cincinnati Bengals, but in this film he is a football player for the Cincinnati Bengals. And lastly, the film also stars Scott Cohen as the husband, a guy named Mike. By the way, you're welcome to watch the film first, as I'm forced to talk spoilers to make my point across, but it's here on YouTube in case you want to watch. Anyways, the film begins with a young blonde girl who, tired of being defiled by her stepdad, decides to get rid of him by stabbing him and setting the trailer home on fire. Years pass, and the film now centers on a rich and successful couple, an Asian sports anchorwoman and an architect named Mike, who are struggling to conceive their first child. So in comes the blonde, a friendly, beautiful girl who offers herself as a surrogate mother. The couple agree, and they bring her home to stay during her pregnancy. During her stay, she discovers a Japanese sword in the house, which will come in handy later. And little by little, the blonde destroys the lives of the couple. At first with little things that almost seem like mean girl pranks, like flirting with the husband, and then revealing way too much information about the family to a famous football player for the Cincinnati Bengals, who then feels the need to bring up such said information during a live interview with the Asian anchorwoman and getting her in trouble, or showing up at a party that she wasn't invited to, only to then hook up with a business partner at the party to screw up a business deal for the Asian woman, also using bug spray all over the house to annoy the couple. She also does some really weird things, like using lipstick to draw a sad face on her belly. However, the pregnant blonde's actions get worse and worse, first blackmailing the couple for money, escalating to actual life-ending violent acts, like beating people with a bat or shooting people in the face. For example, when the agent gets suspicious about the blonde, she gets rid of him, baseball style. And then, when another character knows too much, she pulls out a gun and decorates the walls with his brain matter. Despite all the tragic things happening, the couple suspect nothing until everyone around them is dead, and it's only then that the Asian anchorwoman uses her brain and realizes what's going on, revealing a plot twist. Turns out, when Mike was young, he got drunk one day and killed the blonde's family in a car crash, resulting in the blonde going to a foster home where the disgusting stepdad would take advantage of her. To make matters worse, Mike never faced any real consequences, making Sonya go for revenge, leading Mike into a trap and provoking an accident to incapacitate him and make him vulnerable. And with this final revelation, there is only one way left for a film like this to go: a final catfight between the good woman and the bad woman, where one of them must die. However, in this case, the bad woman is the blonde, and she is pregnant. So we see a pregnant woman carrying a sword. The blonde and the brunette have a brief last standoff, where the Asian woman is forced to shoot the blonde to save Mike and herself. We then cut to a final shot of the happy family, but this time with their brand new super cute baby. That's it. Now, for those of you who might say, it's not like Kill Bill, it actually is. And I actually did a little test. You see, I pretended I had written a story to be used for a graphic novel, where I described this movie to several of my friends and family members to see what they thought of it, and they all said the same. It sounds too much like Kill Bill. You see, both films feature a beautiful blonde protagonist whose family was killed and now seeks revenge. In both movies, the blonde happens to be pregnant, and in both movies, she wields a sword as her weapon for revenge. In both movies, a homicide happens inside of a trailer home, In both movies, there is a final standoff between a blonde and an Asian woman, and both films end with a character driving off after getting their babies. Now, I saw this movie for the first time when I was little, twice, back to back, on Christmas Day. Why? Because I was alone for a few hours, and I've always had a thing for thrillers, even the not so great ones like this one. But for some reason, this movie has stuck with me for all these years. Now, the film comes with a ton of cliches that all thrillers tend to have, like a tragic backstory for the protagonist, the antagonist ruining the lives of everyone around, but without raising any suspicions, a plot twist, and a final catfight between good and evil. I think the only highlight of this movie is the performance by Bridgette Wilson, who eats up every second she's on screen. She is truly a sight to behold, going all the way from sweet and shy to full-blown anger-driven crazy. I would have loved to have seen her in more films. Other than that, I'm not sure you should even watch this film, as it's honestly not that great. And I mean, it's not horrible, but it's far from being special or memorable. I think the only reason I remember it is because of Bridgette Wilson, and because it bears some resemblance to Kill Bill. I don't know. Allegedly, maybe Tarantino watched this film one day and decided to make a better film out of this. Allegedly. But what do you think? Coincidence or influence? Allegedly, of course. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Be safe and well. Allegedly. No, I'm just kidding.